All right, welcome back to another episode of Just an Introvert podcast. I'm Abbie,
I'm Amy.
and we are continuing our super fun movie analysis, if you will, of introvert versus extrovert characters. So we'll do our little intro and then get started. So I'm going to start with my icebreaker. I've been excited for this one. It's
Ooh,
topical.
okay.
Um, okay, I almost said, would you rather?
Okay. I'll
Yikes.
take my
Oh
thing.
my gosh. Okay, given the option, would you choose to be severed from your work environment, a la Severance,
hmm
the TV show?
Okay.
What would be your thoughts on that? I'm curious.
Ooh, I don't think I would want to in my current job
Hmm.
because I don't, I was telling Riley, I don't really have a lot of friends, but I have the ones I do have some work friends.
Work
And I
friends.
really like my work friends.
Yep.
And I think I don't want to not remember that. And my job, I really like it. Maybe if I was in a job that I was unhappy at,
Yeah.
um, but no, I would not want to be sad.
Okay.
How about
Interesting.
you?
Because I'm like, yes, totally. Like when I first, before I even watched the show, hearing about it, I was like, yeah, that sounds great. Obviously not in the context of working for an organization like Lumen that's, sketchy and you don't really know what you're doing. But given my
Yes.
current job, and not because I don't like my job, but it just would be so nice to like shut the stress off as soon as I leave work and not be able to think about it. And I've heard so many healthcare workers say, like, to a certain extent, with like HIPAA and things we can't talk about, we are kind of like partially severed. Like, there's a lot of stuff that happens at work that you really can't like get into. So for that sense, totally to know that like what I do at work is at work, and then I don't have to, and then you're not like going around thinking everything in the context of work, like working labor and delivery. I remember every like pregnant person I saw or like TikToks where people talk about things and you're like, oh, everything you're saying is incorrect. You just have this like, oh, I want to tell you, but I don't want to be that person. So to be able to just shut that part of my brain off would be kind of nice.
I can totally see that
Yeah.
in your environment. And I think if I was like a classroom teacher and I had to
Yeah.
deal with parents or things that were stressful on my plate, I might
Yes.
change my mind. But
Yeah.
with my job, I don't have to deal with a lot
Yeah.
of that. So, I always tell everybody I'm the fun parent.
You
Loop
totally are.
in and do fun stuff and then I leave.
I know they had a music teacher come to Jane's class the other day, like, yeah, the music teacher is stopping by. And I was like, yep, that's the like drop in, have fun until everyone melts down, and then I'm
Yep.
out.
That's my cue. That's a
Oh
good one.
gosh.
Good
Yeah.
one.
Yep.
Okay, so I had a would you rather, but then your dad told me one, and I'm like, hey, that's a good one. Can I use it?
Yep.
So he gave me permission to use this one. So, and I don't know if he's told you, but
He
anyway.
like mentioned one, but I answered it really quickly and he's like, no, I gotta think of a better one. That was too
Okay.
easy. So I'm sure
Okay.
it's an adapted version.
Well, and I answered one way because I saw him a couple times this last week. And then the next time I saw him, I'm like, you know what? I think I'll do that one. So anyway, we'll see what you say.
Okay.
So would you rather like if you ordered like a 20-piece nugget and you only got 19 in there, would you go back and stand in a line and ask for your one nugget that you're missing? Or go to a nice restaurant and when your meal comes, send the whole thing back?
Hmm. It it really depends on why for that second why you're sending it back. Because I have like never sent food back in my life. Like that's such a like, oh, I could never. But I feel like the nugget, as little as it is, it's like it's valid. Like I ordered this one thing and I didn't get it correctly. So I think it would highly depend on why you're sending the food back. But I think my initial reaction is like as awkward as it would be, I would ask for the nugget. Also, I love nuggets, so it's like, yeah, I want all
You
20.
don't want to be short of the nugget. I get it.
No,
Yeah,
no.
Riley, she's like, I always count. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah. I think that when he mentioned this, he kind of had a similar thing when he mentioned. I showed him, have you seen the stuff on like TikTok where people get nuggets and they're like arranged in the boxes from McDonald's? Like
Mm-mm.
if you think about the box sizes, like I think it was the 10 piece was like two rows of five. Like they were like literally stacked perfectly. And I'm like, yeah, they do fit like that really well in all the boxes. And I just thought that
Oh,
was so funny. I've never actually gotten it, but I'm like, there's some McDonald's worker that just really
I
likes things organized.
nugget.
And I'm like, dang, okay.
I mean, I respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I initially said
Yeah.
the McNugget thing,
Okay.
but then I'm like, I'm gonna stand in a line in front of everybody and be like, I'm missing a nugget. Whereas if I was at a nice restaurant, usually they have to be really nice to
That's true.
you, and you could just be like, oh, I don't know.
That's true. No,
But I go
I
back
get
and
that.
forth. I go back and forth because
Because like at the end of the day, it's someone who's like not getting paid enough at McDonald's to like be treated like crap most of the day. So it's
yeah, and
like,
you're just gonna sound super petty in front
yes,
of
I think I'd
everyone.
rather, yeah, that's true. I'd rather put it on someone who's like, that's the expectation of their establishment. But
So
yeah,
anyway, good job,
good.
Kurt.
That's
Thanks for
good.
the
Yes.
suggestion.
Yes. Oh, goodness. All right. So today we are going to be breaking down Star Wars, specifically I don't know how, like, definitely episode four, but
Uh-huh.
kind of the whole original trilogy, I guess, is kind of what we're diving into.
Yeah, I figure we can dive in, mainly focus on
The
that,
main
and then if
characters.
we
Yeah.
get a chance, we can just throw a few in notable standouts from
Yes.
the other
Perfect.
franchises. So
Perfect. Because I think that's probably the one we're most familiar with is the
definitely,
OG.
yeah.
I was gonna ask, I think my dad went and saw one or some in theaters. Did you ever see any of the ones in theaters or like
So I was introduced with
you were
school code.
younger?
So yeah, so Star Wars came out, I believe, in like 77.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was one. And then
Okay.
Empire Strikes Back came out like 81 or something. I
Yeah.
could be
Yeah.
wrong. There's probably Star Wars people are like, actually,
I want to say it's because I looked it up 80 and 83, but
okay.
I could be wrong.
So I watched those on VHS.
Oh
um,
yeah.
and I loved them. Oh my goodness, I loved them.
Yeah.
And then Return of the Jedi came out in the theater when it was 83. So I was, oh my gosh, I can't do math. I was born in 76. Is that
So like seven
seven? Okay.
ish. Yeah.
And I think I was, anyway. So I begged my mom, I want to go. And she
Oh,
like had no desire to see him, but she took me. And it was like, oh, it was so exciting to see it in the theater. But
that's
yeah,
cool.
I had the biggest crush on Harrison Ford. I still do. I think he's
Yeah.
just my
Mm-hmm.
forever crush.
Yep.
And it's weird because I wasn't like a super sci-fi girl. I didn't ever get into Star Trek or anything, but there's
Yeah.
something about Star Wars, and I think a lot of it too was the music. I'm super into
Mm.
movie soundtracks, and that was just kind of the first movie soundtrack that I was just like, wow, I don't know, just everything about
Yeah.
it is so yeah. How about
Yeah.
you? How did you get introduced to it?
I mean, I feel like it was always just like a staple. Because my dad was super into Star Wars as well, and I think I'm sure we watched it growing up, and then when the episode one, two, and three came out, then it kind of had that like reboot, which was so fun. And I don't know the years on that. I didn't look that up, but that I don't think I saw any of them in theaters because I think I was like too young. It was just like right in that like seeing it in theaters probably would have been too much. So
Mhm.
but yeah, I remember me and my brother and one of our friends, my mom's best friend Lisa, her son Zach, the three of us would play Star Wars all the time, and it was Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Padme. Like that was
Oh,
I think we
that's
had
so
costumes at one point. I'm sure there are embarrassing pictures and videos. But I just remember that was like the best. And then of course, my memory with you is when I would have my sleepovers at your house in the summers, we would watch episode two. And that's always been like my favorite. As
uh
much as people hate on it, I
yeah.
love it. I'm like, whatever,
Oh,
forget the
I
haters.
love
But
that.
yeah, so I remember because I'd stay the night and you'd be like, what movie? And I always be like, Star Wars episode two. Like that was just my go-to. I loved it. So yeah. And then now it's so cool because I remember we talked about this. My dad was young when the original trilogy came out, and then my brother was young when episode one, two, and three came out, and then my younger brother was a similar age when seven, eight, and nine came out. So I feel like they
Wow.
all were at a similar age range when that was happening. So that was like a cool, like, just the timing of that. But then when my husband and I started dating, our dating anniversary is in December, so we'd always go and do a trip. We always end up going to the movies.
Uh-huh.
And for like 4 or 5 years, I feel like consistently they had a new Star Wars movie coming out around that time. So we'd
Hmm.
always go and see the newest Star Wars. So that was a cool memory. And then I also the episode 9, I was pregnant with Jane, and call me crazy, but she was the most active she ever was when I was seeing that movie. And I was like, I'm so happy she loves Star
Yep.
Wars. I mean, granted, she's, literally a fetus, but in my mind, I'm like, she loves it. Maybe it was the nachos I ate, but we're gonna say it was the Star Wars magic. So it's
Yep.
always held a special place. And it was the movie we were watching Star Wars when Randall and I first met. So
Aw.
literally the beginning of our relationship.
So
But
much, yeah. Well, it's funny you mentioned that you're pregnant because I do remember when one of the episode, the first trilogy or the one, two, and three came out. I
yeah.
think it's episode two had to be
Mhm.
2002 because I was pregnant with Riley, and that was the
Yep.
time when you got in line with everybody, and we went
Yep.
downtown to Brendan, and it was
Yep.
exciting. I was so excited
Crazy.
to see episode two.
Yeah.
And then I also, when I was young, I lived next to two neighbor boys, and we would play Star Wars. I was Princess Leia, and
Yeah.
they were Luke and Han Solo.
Yes, it's perfect.
So yeah,
Oh
oh my
man.
goodness, yeah. So
Yeah, we love Star Wars. I literally
love it.
have two Star Wars tattoos. Yes, I have two Star
Oh,
Wars
there
tattoos.
you
So
go.
that's how much. Yes.
Love it. I've even
So
done my hair in Princess Leia
y-
styles
you've done
before.
like all the cool, you had the whole costume, right? Because you did that for
I did. There was a
like
Star
for
Wars
school. Yeah.
dress up day, and I happened to have just everything. My one of my favorite
Right.
outfits. Well, I think it's Empire Strikes Back is
Yeah.
probably my favorite, and yeah, then the snow. Just her outfits, just that
Oh
whole
my
thing is
gosh.
just my favorite. So yeah, I was able to replicate that, and I remember doing my hair, and my arms were dead, and it took forever, but I got it down.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh
good
man.
times.
Oh, love Star Wars.
Oh,
Okay.
I know.
So I was just telling Amy before we started recording, I like watched through for the most of these movies, I'm like, okay, I'm really familiar with them, but I just want to refresh. So I just kind of like skip through to the bigger dialogue parts. Um, I was fast forwarding for a good like 20 minutes. I was like, man, there is no human interaction. It's like droids and fighting and scenery. I'm like, oh my gosh. So didn't realize that, but I was like, yeah, there's really not a whole lot of like conversations and dialogue in this movie. So
Yeah, you're right.
yeah,
I didn't get a chance to rewatch them, but I've seen them so many
yeah,
times in my
yeah,
lifetime. But you're right. It really sets up the whole,
yeah.
this good guys, bad guys,
Yes.
and yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of silence.
It's like, wow, but oh my goodness. Okay, so let's start with, let's see. I was gonna go in order of who appears first, but I feel like Leia is the first one that has like a decent amount of dialogue and
Mhm.
interaction initially. So what are your thoughts? Introvert, extrovert?
I said introvert.
Okay.
She, even though she's very strong,
Yeah.
she doesn't seem like she really wants to. I don't know. She seems kind of annoyed by people a lot. So that's just kind of what I picked, but
Mm.
I also know
Yeah.
she's a very strong character and gets, things done, gets what needs to be done. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, I could see
That was
that
my
more though.
initial thought because
Because
I'm
my
just being
Yeah, my thought was more extrovert because of like her leadership and stuff. But when the more Star Wars that has come out, more of her backstory and like realizing a lot of it was just the life she was thrown into because,
Mhm.
she and spoiler, Luke are twins. But if you don't know that by now,
Yeah, if
um,
that's a spoiler for you, then
then this is not the episode for you.
it is not
But because they got separated and put in such different lives, she was put
true.
in this more like political sphere, but then when it goes into that she was actually like training to be a Jedi, like that is much more like I don't want to be in the spotlight. I want to just like have this journey and do this thing. So yeah, no, I now that you say that, I do
That's
see that more.
Well, and that's true. And I can see the other side as well. And wasn't there a store? I don't even know if this was a another show, a backstory where there was a story of her when she was little.
Yes, in
And
the Kenobi series.
yes,
Yep.
okay. Yeah.
And oh my
So
God, she was the actress that played her, I'm
it was
like,
so good.
they nailed it. Yes,
So good.
totally. Yeah.
I love when they yeah, I love when they call back to all that stuff. So,
Yes. Yeah.
so yeah, and I can see your point too. She really did take on a lot of leadership role and wasn't afraid to confront things and do things. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Kind of that nature versus nurture. But yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah. She kind of was what she needed to be in certain moments and yeah,
true, right.
was able to adapt to that. But yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so then other side, Luke.
Introvert.
Really? Oh, we're
Yeah.
gonna disagree on this. Okay. Wow. Okay, explain. I'm curious what your thoughts are.
Well, I just think he's so I'm just thinking at the beginning
Yeah.
when he kind of just well, I don't know. Now you're making me think about it.
See, rewatching it really made me think more because I kind of had these like broad ideas, but I'm like, oh, like catching again the little dialogue that's there. What I think extrovert is because that whole first part of the movie, he keeps like, I want to go be with my friends. I want to go. Why are you keeping me here?
Yeah.
Like he wants to go. And again, that's like so reverse. Oh, hitting my mic. Reverse of Leia because he's been put into this family that's which I've never understood what a moisture farmer is. I always laugh at that. I'm like, is the world that bad that we just like don't have water? Whatever. He's off with, his quote aunt and uncle and
Yeah,
but he's always, they're like, finish your chores and then you can go hang out with your friends. And he wants to go to,
that's
become a
true.
pilot and he wants all those social things, but he's so
You're
pulled
right.
away from them.
He's very eager. I guess I'm
Yeah.
kind of thinking more of when he got trained and just how he was
Yes.
able to be reserved and not be a character like Han who just jumps out, like, let's
Yes.
do this, and he just is able to look at the bigger
Yeah.
picture. And so I'm think maybe that's more what I was thinking of with
Yeah. And
Luke.
just that Jedi lifestyle is so
Yes.
much more on the introvert train, just that like,
Hmm.
because that's how that, how you have to be and how much that changes. Kind of like what we mentioned
True.
in Hunger Games, like what the environment and what you're going through shapes that versus who you are at your core. But yeah. Yeah.
Right. No, okay, I can see that because yeah, he was kind of a little whiny at the beginning. I want to get the power going
Oh, no.
first. There's so many lines that we quote.
My
That one is
God.
such a great one. Which, by the way, Mark Hamill is this most hilarious guy. I
Oh,
love
I love
following
him.
him on social media.
Oh,
It's so
yes.
funny. Oh my gosh, I
Like
love it.
he's the last person I picture having these like unhinged political tweets, and then you're just like, okay, Mark, like, all right, like,
And he's
yeah,
just so humorous about
yes. Oh,
so
he's
many things. So
hilarious. Oh
I
my
love
gosh.
following him.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic. I just showed Randall. I need to find it and post it on Instagram. He does an impression of Harrison Ford.
Oh, really?
Like, and it is spot on. I will
Oh,
post
you
it
gotta
on our
send that to
Instagram.
me or
It
post
is
it.
it's insanely good. You can tell they spent
Oh,
a lot of time together because he
oh yeah,
nails
I
it.
definitely want to see that. That's so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Uh,
So we've already established that you are Han Solo over Luke, and I will agree
100.
1000%.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's
Yes.
Team
Like
Han
the one
all the
moment
way.
where he's like training with Yoda in the swamp, it's like, okay, Luke, but the rest of it, I'm like, you're kind of obnoxious. Like you serve a purpose, but no, it's
Yes,
Han Solo all the way. Okay,
yes,
cool.
Han
Same
Solo.
page there. So what do we think about Han Solo?
I
Extrovert,
think
introvert?
extrovert.
See? Oh man, we really are going to be opposite. So I think okay, I'll let you go first.
I just think of how he just is. He's able to just wheel and deal with anybody that he needs to, and he's able to put on that charm. And he's just so ready to jump in before thinking things through. And yeah, that's just kind of
Okay.
how I came to that conclusion. So how about
Yes.
you?
I agree. Like he's definitely the charming, charismatic, but he's such like a lone wolf. Like I think he is less like spontaneous and impulsive and more he's always got a plan running in the background. Like he always has that like he knows 10 steps ahead of what he's doing because that's just how he had to be like growing up. His
Yeah.
backstory and the movie Solo, like seeing all of that. And I also this is more comical, but in the um in the episode 4 when they're trying to have someone escape and they're like in the gosh there's like that big control panel and
Yes.
someone radios and is like, hey,
Mhm.
what's going on down there, and he just like panics. I'm like, that is an introvert on the phone, like, hey, everything's fine down here, we're good, all is good, and then
How
like
are
they're like,
you?
what, and then he just shoots it and he's like, never mind.
We
Like,
have
so
company.
that
Man,
feels
I could just quote that whole movie.
yes, oh my gosh.
And
Yeah, so
so funny. I was thinking about, like how much I loved Han. And I think that's why, and of course, this wouldn't work out because Luke and Leia were brother and sister.
yikes.
But I was like kind of annoyed that he was into Princess Leia because Han Solo was mine. And I was
Yep. You're like,
a little
no, no,
offended by
no,
that, and
not how
so
this
a little
works.
territorial, but I guess,
Uh,
with the storyline and, it's fine.
It's what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, I could see again his like again just very charming and all of that, but I think at his
yeah.
core. But I also think he like again, what was I gonna say? Gosh, that thought just escaped my brain. Oh, that he like chooses who he surrounds himself with wisely because I think he's had like, betrayal and that kind of stuff. So he's like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna really wait this out before I bring someone into my inner circle. But yeah,
But he also gets himself into so many things that he's like,
true.
"Oops, gotta
Yep.
get out of that one," or just like,
Yes. And at the end when he like gets his money and he's like, I'm out, and
yeah,
then he like, okay, I actually should go help and then comes in and like saves the
yes,
day.
right.
Again, I see that as an introvert trait of like, just having that independence and then like,
Yeah.
okay, when you have a connection, when you have your people, like, okay, I'll show up and do what I gotta
But
do.
then
But
announcing, "I'm on my way.
yeah,
I cleared it for you, kid," So I see those
get
things
my
as
credit.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
but
That's
and
fair.
I can
That's
see both
fair.
sides. So
Yeah.
you bring
Okay.
good
This
points.
is probably less to analyze, but C3PO and R2D2.
Okay, I actually had a hard time because I really was
To
thinking
be fair, they're not humans,
they
so
are not now. Okay, so C3PO, I put extrovert just because he always goes up and introduces himself and is, keeping the
yes.
conversation, but he's also super anal. I'm not
Yes.
saying extroverts can't be anal, but
Yep.
like,
Yes, his like always has the statistics and all those things. Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
And then R2D2, I picked as an extrovert because he's always getting into trouble. C3PO is always like, "Hey, get back here."
Yep.
I don't
See,
know. What did you?
I feel like they have just that like fun dynamic of a introvert extrovert
Yeah,
relationship. Like I would put C3PO as the extrovert,
uh-huh.
R2D2 as the introvert because he's always getting stuff done. Like
True.
C3PO has to do all the talking and he's like
Yes.
his friend and I talk about this all the time. I know it's future or past or advanced technology, but he has that one port that just does everything.
Yes.
He's like, here's this little thing that works for every door and every can hack every system. Also,
Yes.
he can shoot people randomly. Like, yeah, I that always cracked us up. Or like he can do anything. But yeah, I feel like he's always getting the stuff done, and then C3PO is interacting with people. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
That's true. Yeah. I
kind of
love.
like that Bert and Ernie, kind of
Mhm.
the real
Yes.
extreme. Yeah.
Yes. Or any kind of comic duo, Laurel and
Yes.
Hardy, or
Yes.
their
That kind of thing. Yeah. Oh
dynamic
my
is really
gosh.
funny.
Yes. They add the comedic relief though. It's
They do.
fantastic.
They do. They do.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Okay, the other one that's in there is not Obi-Wan, but Ben Kenobi.
Yes.
Yep.
So
And
older,
you have to
but
think of it context of just not Obi-Wan
yeah.
from the other, but just kind of
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm thinking of Obi-Wan
Yeah.
and Hermit. I'm gonna say introvert.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's yeah, just
Yeah. I think so. And again, I think that's like definitely amplified by the Jedi stuff, but I do
mhm,
think at his core. But also, I'm like, again, this might be just projecting, but in that first scene when he's talking to Luke about, oh, I knew your dad and blah blah blah, and it's like, like this is relatable. You get burned in one friendship, and you're like, that's it. I'm never making any friends ever again. I'm good. I'm by myself forever. So
true.
I feel like that's an introvert trait.
And he's very loyal. Like he's been living on the
Yes.
planet the whole time,
Oh,
keeping an eye on Luke, making
yep.
sure he's safe. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
introvert for sure. I always loved Obi-Wan too.
Yes.
And then,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan, young Obi-Wan, that was my other
Yes.
crush. I'm like, oh, he's hot.
Yep. I was Anakin all the way. That was
Hey, I had nothing,
yep.
nothing, no problems with Anakin either.
Yep. And even like again, as I age, it evolves. I'm like Qui-Gon Jinn can get it too. I mean, they're just
No, seriously. Yep.
all winners. And I
Totally.
think going into episode 1, 2, and 3, well, one because R.I.P. Qui-Gon Jinn, but like that dynamic with Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan. Like Obi-Wan
Yes.
is a little more eager and less,
Yes.
planned out, but that's kind of as he trains into the way of the way of the Jedi. Like he kind of gains that composure. And I think
That's
that
kind of like
kind
Luke.
of shows like immaturity versus maturity, I
Yeah,
think.
and that's kind of how I see Luke too, very
Yeah.
eager, and then all of a sudden just a little more sucked
Yeah.
into that Jedi training
Yeah.
and everything. So
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. Yeah. Oh man.
Okay.
Trying to, I think that's like
Well, how about
any other.
Chewbacca?
Okay, so we are gonna do something special that my lovely husband recommended and
Okay.
leave one. I did I mention this to you? I might not have
I'm
even
not
told you.
sure.
And leave one undiscussed. And we're
Oh,
gonna
okay.
let people on our social media will post and you guys can post your thoughts, whether
Ooh.
you think he is an introvert or an extrovert and
Okay,
tell
I
us
like that.
why.
Okay,
Yes,
so
Randall mentioned that.
Chewbacca.
I'm like, oh, I love that. So Chewbacca is our question mark. So we can have
Okay.
our own thoughts, but we'll let our followers battle that one
Yeah.
out.
I do love Chewbacca.
Oh my gosh. Yes. And
Love,
again, the
love
more, like we said,
Chewbacca.
the more backstory they gave to him, I was just like, just love him.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And his dynamic with Han Solo and oh, and then C3PO and Empire Strikes
Oh,
Back,
yes.
where he's annoyed, but he goes to help him, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it.
Or in one of the newer movies, like he gets hurt and then I think it's Finn that's trying to help, but one of them is trying to help him, and
Uh-huh.
he's like yelling and hitting and all of that. And
Yes.
every time I see that, I'm like, all I see are the memes that are like, this is basically what it's like to be a nurse. Like, I'm just trying to help you.
That's so funny. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
no, and again, he never says a word, but he's just such a dynamic
But he
character.
he emotes so much.
Yes,
Love Chewbacca. Okay, so we'll leave
yes,
him. We'll leave our audience
yes.
to
We'll let that to
vote
be
on
to be
that.
determined. Yes.
Okay, so how about Darth Vader in the older
Yes.
trilogy, like the
Gosh.
4, 5, 6?
Yes. See, I feel like that's so kind of like what we said about President Snow and the Hunger Games. It's so hard to like see through just this like, villain, if you will.
Mhm.
But I mean, I feel like just introvert is where I mean, he
Okay.
literally's got his little pod where he's all by. So part of that's just because, poor guy's all mangled and can't breathe on his own. But yeah, but also you don't really see him interact with anyone else other than like the power dynamic and, like force choking out all of his people for making mistakes. But
Yeah, I kind of see extrovert in the sense of he has no problem going up and choking people and
that's
just
fair.
being
That's
very
fair.
bossy about
Yeah.
things and um but yeah.
Yeah,
But,
there's
but
no
it's hard because you don't really get to know his human side, obviously,
yes.
in those movies, and you have to just kind of
Yes.
avoid,
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
said, all of that. But
What do you think then of like Anakin separate from Darth Vader? Where
I
would
think
you?
extrovert.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
He was
so.
very eager and just kind of thinking before
Yeah.
acting before thinking about it. And
Yes.
Obi-Wan's always the one that kind of like, hey, hold on. So you got to think about this and jumping in and just
Yeah.
his emotions were very,
Yeah.
he's in love and then he's
Yes.
angry and then he,
Yes.
just couldn't regulate those. And of
Yep.
course, I know a lot of that came from too his past and with his mom and all
Yep.
that stuff.
Yep.
But
And I was gonna say, even as like a child, you see that in, even though it's not fully developed until you're an adult. Like, I feel like that's consistent through the first three movies. Yeah, for sure.
exactly.
For sure. And doesn't he, I'm trying to remember when he becomes Darth Vader,
Hmm.
like his first question when he can talk again is asking, I think he asks what happens to Padme, if I'm
Yes.
not mistaken. So it's like
Mhm.
that like relationship, I want to know like what's going on and yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh,
Um, I wanted to dip in a little to Empire Strikes Back.
okay.
What do you think about Yoda?
Oh, okay. Gosh. Again, I fall into introvert, but also that's so much like the Jedi, like,
Yeah.
because we never really see, I mean, not yet. We don't really see any Yoda outside. Maybe there is. Randall's watched all like the animated stuff, so I don't know if
Oh
there's a
yeah.
lot more to him in those. That's the only like Star Wars universe stuff that I haven't seen. But
Hmm.
um yeah, I feel like he's very just his even like literally lives in a cave by himself on his own planet, just chilling, like perfectly happy. I feel like that's an
Yeah.
introvert's dream.
That's definitely, yeah. If you're on a planet by yourself, that's pretty.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a lot of introvert vibes. And then
Yes.
another character, Lando
I was
Calrissian.
gonna say extrovert to the max.
Totally, they totally
No
just
question there. Yeah.
smooth talker and just yes.
Yep. Yep. Oh my gosh.
Like it's such a, and I can totally see him and Han being friends in back in the day. And
Yes. They
I forget about the Han Solo movie, but they
yeah,
shows that dynamic back
they
then.
do a good job of establishing that and
Yes.
yeah. So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm trying to think. That's like the majority of
Yeah, that was all I could think
like
of.
major characters in 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah. I mean, we got Jabba the Hutt, but I don't.
Yeah. Who cares about him? Oh,
He's
the
just,
yeah, we don't really get much on okay, Boba Fett, Jango Fett. I can't remember which is which. No matter it would be no.
Boba Fett is the one that was in the older.
Yes.
So he's
I don't
the
know. That's like a
younger,
mental block for me. I can never
I think
remember
he's
which is
the
which.
younger one in the newer in the
Yeah.
with
In
Anakin
the
Padme,
yeah.
is that he grows up to
Yeah.
do
Because
that
we see
stuff.
more of him in The Mandalorian and then Book of Boba Fett. Like we
Right.
see a lot more of him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I've watched that, but whether I don't know. I feel like to be a bounty hunter and just to be like on your own, independent, like that seems more of an introvert. You just
I
kind of like
agree.
take jobs when you want. You're not like
You're a
involved with a
lone
lot of
wolf.
people, and you
You're
don't have that like tie really to anyone. It's like, all right, who's gonna give me money? I'm not like here to make friends. It's just
exactly.
get a job done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here's a couple of wild cards. How about Jar Jar?
Oh my. Okay, like justice for Jar Jar. I love him. Everyone's like, he's the worst. I'm like, I get the biggest kick out of him. I really do. I really enjoy, but I think
He made
he's,
me laugh. I don't
yeah,
still have a problem with him. I think
yes,
Riley even has a Jar Jar
yeah,
shirt that she
yes,
wears.
yeah. No, I think extrovert. I think
Oh yeah.
he,
Oh, for sure.
but
He just
also
wants
like,
to
exactly, he gets
fit in
kicked
and
out of,
be with people. He just wants to be included and
yes. He
yeah.
just wants his friends and his family because
Yes.
his literally was like, peace out. You're like how sad though. Like you're clumsy and you're a mess. We're kicking you out of our society. Like, oh
Yes.
man, rough life.
And then that one
Uh,
other I don't think we talked about was Padme. What do you think?
I I again, it's so hard to like not have all my favorite characters. Like, oh, obviously they're an introvert just like me. Because she's definitely my favorite Star Wars character of all time. But I do think more introvert. I think
I
she's
feel the same way. Even though
like,
she took on leadership roles, I think she was still res reserved.
yeah. Because she wanted more of
Necessary.
like the political side. Like she wanted to get things done more than just like I want everyone to, know me and love me and do all these things. It was more like directed towards like I want,
Exactly.
justice and things to be fair and all of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. And even her like relationship with Anakin, it was like I am aware of my emotions, but this, we can't be together and we can't, like instead of he was just much more impulsive, like, I love you, let's
Yeah.
be together.
And she's a
Um,
rule follower
yes,
and just very, yeah. So I
yes.
definitely agree with
In
that.
the same way that you love all of Leia's like style, oh my God, I would die for any of Padme's outfits. I remember as a kid, I don't think I ever did it with like actual lipstick, but like her very distinct top
Yes.
lip, bottom
Mhm.
line, the dots are, oh, I would be like, do that with like chapstick. I'm like, that's all I got going. But oh yeah, I loved her, all of her
I
outfits.
wish hairstyles like that was normalized. I would wear
Oh,
my hair in one of those styles every day.
yeah. Like,
I love those braid crazy
yeah,
things. They're so fun.
yeah.
Like even Ray's hair. And I
Oh
actually
yeah.
did her hair like a couple months ago, and that was fun.
Yeah.
But
I love the things that show like for Padme it was one bun and then Leia had two and then Rey
yeah.
had three. It was like a hair
Oh, that's
progression.
yeah, there you go.
Hmm.
I love
Hmm.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would loved her outfits, hair. I agree.
Yes. Yeah.
Definitely
A
love
fave.
the styles.
Trying to think if there's any like other.
Yeah, that's kind of all I had written down.
Yeah, and then obviously there's all the newer ones, but I feel like those are probably the ones I'm least familiar with.
What
Just
what
oh
about the Ewoks?
my
And I know
God.
they're all different. I mean, you can't really like
Yeah.
say they're all the same, but
I feel like they're just because they're so like societal and like extra, yeah, I would say extra because they're all just like they work together and like they have a community. They're not, I feel like there's some like sub characters and creatures that like
yeah,
are individual, but they're like so community oriented that I think more
true.
extroverted.
True.
And the parties. Like, I mean, that's their thing
Yes.
at the end, the big party. Yeah.
Yes. I love their song, Lub Nub or whatever. Lub Nub. And then they changed it when they redid them.
Oh,
They took that
really?
song out and they added another one, and totally changed the vibe, and I'm very bitter about it.
Wow. I was gonna
So
ask about that. Like watching it, I'm like, you can see some of the stuff that's been like CGI'd,
yeah,
some
I
of the
feel
like
like
creatures in the background, and I'm like, I don't know.
yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I
Yeah,
guess some things are cool, but like when they took out that song, I was like, no,
yeah.
that's no. They have to sing Lub Nub or whatever.
My one moment where I felt so stupid is I was watching episode 6 where they have like all the like Force ghosts and they have Anakin there and they like superimposed Hayden Christensen's face and I was like,
Uh-huh.
how did they find someone that looked just like it? Like I didn't connect those dots and I don't
That's
know who I was
rude.
with, but they're like, yeah, they went back and redid that once they made the newer movies. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm an idiot. I was so amazed. Like movie magic just did it for me. I was like, that's
You
amazing.
know, that magic works on people like us. We're like, wow.
Doesn't take much. Oh my gosh. All right, so I think that just about sums up all the major characters. I think
I
we
think
we did
so.
pretty good.
Mhm.
We didn't get too off track, even though that took a lot of restraint. You guys don't even know how much we just wanted to talk about Star Wars, but we made it.
We did. Yeah, I could talk a long time. I could do a whole episode just on the music, but
Yes.
yes, I think I'm looking at some of the characters a little differently after hearing your thoughts. So
Yeah.
that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at us being able to disagree and not feel
I know.
awkward about it. We're so advanced.
We are so evolved.
Oh my gosh. All right. So let's get into our ending. I always want to say outro instead of intro. Is that a thing? Outro? Is
Um,
that a word?
it is a word. I think
Okay.
of it as like our ending music, but
Yeah.
it can be I don't know.
Oh
That's an
gosh.
awkward moment. No,
I
just
was gonna
kidding.
say that's my awkward moment, not knowing what an outro is. What's your awkward moment, Amy? Let us know.
Okay, this happened a while back, and it's one of those things I was like, oh, I'm going to say this on the next podcast. And then I forgot. And then it came back to me, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to remember. So I was going for a walk with Kuro, and I will occasionally pass a teacher I used to work with and her husband. They're always on walks. And she's super talkative. And whenever I see her, I know I'm going to take my AirPod out and she's going to talk and blah, blah, blah. And so it's fine. So I saw her and her husband coming. I don't know if I had like a hat on or if I looked different or what, but I took the AirPod out and I was ready and came by and I said, hi, like really bubbly and her
Oh
name.
no.
And she just kind of looked at me. She's like, hi, kind of like she's trying to be nice. And I'm like, okay, I don't think she recognized me
Oh no.
because I would not, anybody else, I would not
Right.
have done that bubbly,
You're
but I
like, I
knew that's
chose
her
to go.
energy. So I was going to match it. And then I just went, oh, I don't think she recognized me.
Yep. Oh no.
Okay,
Oh,
we'll just keep
that's
walking. And she's just going to think, okay, that person was real animated and
oh,
excited
that's
to
rough.
see me.
I've
So,
had
yeah.
those moments. Oh my
And I
gosh.
wasn't going to be like, hey, it's me. But I was just like, no, we're just going to keep walking
Yep,
and
yep. Just move
just,
on.
just get out of
Let it
there.
be in the
So,
past.
that was,
Oh my gosh.
but how about you?
Okay, so mine is again less of an awkward moment than I think I make it into be, but it's like for me, I'm like, oh, get me out of here. So at work, we have like our break room and we have a little like water and ice machine basically.
Mhm.
So I'm terrible at drinking water. So in the morning, I have to like fill up my big water bottle. Otherwise, I'm not going to drink water all day. So like a couple weeks ago, it was broken and maintenance had to take it and fix it and bring it back. And whatever they did when they brought it back, the water stream is so slow
Oh
now.
no.
Like it is painfully slow. So
Uh,
now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go fill my water. It takes forever. And it's a shared break room, and we have a big clinic. So there's a lot of, especially in the morning, everyone's getting their coffee or heating up breakfast, whatever.
mhm.
So every morning I'm like, I can't make this go any faster. So I'm going to be standing here. I timed it the other day. It took me a minute and 30 seconds to fill up my water. So the whole
Dang.
time I'm like, okay, if someone comes in and wants to fill their water, I feel bad because I have this huge 40-ounce cup that I'm like,
Yeah.
do I step away or am I
Oh,
jerk for just standing here getting my water? And then if someone walks in, there's like enough people that I'm familiar enough with that I'd be
yeah.
like, oh, like strike up a conversation, but I'm like, it's never going to be one of those people. It's going to be someone that I don't talk too much. And then it's like, I'm just standing here. Like, I can't even be on my phone. Like, I have to be actively
Oh,
filling my here. It's just, again, it's probably not as awkward as I feel like it is, but I've been filling it like to the brim with ice, so I don't need as much water and it'll melt throughout the day just for the sake of like, I don't want to stand here for that long. And it's become a running joke because I'm like, I love the organization that I work for, but I'm like, y'all post your annual budgets. I know that you could buy us a new ice and water machine. So I'm like, it's my passive aggressive. I grab my water bottle in the morning and I'm like, all right, guys, see you in 10 minutes when my water's full. Like it's my ongoing joke. Um, but yeah, it again probably feels way more awkward. Or the other thing is sometimes you go in, it has like automatic lights in our break room,
Uh-huh.
but for some reason they don't always turn on. So sometimes I like, and I get started and it's like a motion sensor, like I have to put
Yes.
my hand and for the water. So I like have to be in this certain position to keep the water going. I'm like, I'm not going to stop and then turn the lights on. So I'm like, someone's going to walk in and I'm just in the dark, standing here
Sorry.
filling my water. So it's again, it's just like a
Oh my
whole slew of
gosh.
awkwardness.
That is so funny. Well, when you said that you can't be on your phone, you got to concentrate. So when I'm filling my water up at home, sometimes I will look down on my phone. The other day, my water just starts spilling over. I was not paying attention, and I was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I guess I need to pay attention." I just had a huge mess because I was looking at memes, real important
Gosh.
stuff.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
times.
Yep. Oh my
All
gosh.
right. So,
Oh, and then recommendations. What do you have for us?
okay. So I'm going to recommend Lady Gaga's new album,
Yes, I was
Mayhem.
hoping you would. Okay, yes.
Okay, so I knew I liked the Abracadabra song
Hmm.
already. And I was so excited because I looked up the lyrics and they're clean enough that I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna use this at my dance. I'm so excited.
Yes.
And then I saw your TikTok and you talked about listening to the album and you're like, this whole
Hmm.
album is fire. And so I'm like, okay.
So good.
So I helped Niles drive some tennis boys to a tournament in Lodi. And once we got there, there wasn't really much for me to do, which wasn't like a bad thing for me.
Not
Like, I'm gonna get
complaining.
my steps in.
Yeah.
And I walked 5 miles both days because I was just listening to the album. I listened to it
Yeah.
2 times in a row. I'm like, every song is so good.
It's so good. Like
Yeah.
beginning to end. I absolutely
Yes.
love it. I feel like it is one of two. Have you heard the term like no skip album?
I
Like
know.
an album that like you don't have like, oh, I usually skip those songs. Like you listen to
No.
all. I'm like that album and Harry's House, Harry Styles' third album
Mhm.
are my two, like as much as I love Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, other people, those are like my two albums that I'm like I can just sit and listen and not skip a single song. I'm like there's not one that I like more than it's just they're all so good. And it's
All
so
good.
nostalgic. I mentioned this in one of my other TikToks because Lady Gaga was huge when I was in high school. Like that's kind of when she was starting out.
Yeah.
So like she has new music and then Kesha's putting out new music and she was big when I was in high school. So I'm like I just where everyone all the millennials are like everyone's coming back and it's so fun. So I love it. But yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. Just straight fire.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend that album.
Yes.
All right.
Oh
How
my
about
gosh,
you?
definitely. I mean, besides echoing your
Yes.
recommendation, mine is I've heard a ton of ads for it, so it's probably something you're familiar with, but I never understood what it really was, is Rocket Money.
Hmm.
I feel like podcasts do, commercials for it and whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but what we use it for, so it's an app that you download and, like you put in all of your different banking information, like your credit cards and your checking and everything. So it's all in one place. You can see everything. But what
Mm-hmm.
I love is it goes through all your subscriptions. So you can, on a single
Okay.
page, here's all the things I'm subscribed to. This is when the payments come out. This is how much I'm paying. So I feel like it's much easier to see what you're actually subscribed to. And we've been able to find things that we're like, oh, I guess I accidentally signed up for whatever and I'm paying, $20 a month. Like, okay, cool, let's get rid of that. And like introvert friendly because there's an option where it's like, hey, you could be saving such and such on your AT&T bill or whatever it is. And it's like, we'll negotiate on your behalf and they'll like adjust it. You can adjust things or the impossible subscriptions that it's like, I don't even know how to cancel this. They're like, we'll cancel it for you. It's like all of that. It makes it really easy. Um, Really nice just for like budgeting and stuff to really, and it takes all of your like everything that you pay for and you can put it in different categories so you can see, okay, this is how much we spent on food versus rent, clothes, whatever. So it's really nice. It kind of all concise puts everything together because I'm like, I want the organization, but when you have like multiple accounts and that kind of thing,
Oh,
it can
it's
get
hard.
so it's overwhelming. And I'm like, I don't want to make an Excel spreadsheet with all of this, but it just does everything for you and lays it out. So it's really nice.
That's
Really
cool. I
nice.
have heard ads about it, and
Yeah.
right, there's so many subscriptions now and things like I don't even know honestly how many streaming services we're signed up with,
Yep.
Patreon accounts that I have, clicked on. I'm like, I don't even know where to look for that stuff for what,
Yes.
all the things that Apple is taking out, like extra
Yes.
storage and extra
Yep.
this. You just all of a sudden just become like kind of where it's just overwhelming. You just go,
And
whatever.
it's a few dollars here and there. It's like whatever, but you're like, it really does. It's cheesy, but it does add up.
Yeah. Oh, it does for sure. It's good to
So
know. And
yeah.
that's why I get extra frustrated when I want to watch a movie and it goes like, you can rent it for 3.99. I'm like, I said, how many streaming services am I paying
Seriously.
for? And it's not on one of
Seriously.
them.
It's
Three and Niles will be like, it's 3.99. I'm like, I know.
but it's the principle. No, I feel the
So
same way.
frustrating.
Or when they started bringing movies, like you can rent it early. You're like, cool. Oh, it's $30. Okay, no.
No,
Like
hard
we,
pass.
me and my parents a few times have been like, hey, we both want to watch. Let's split it so it's worth it, and then we'll watch it multiple times.
There you go. That
And I'm
makes,
like, okay. They're like, cool. You can watch it at home early for more than you'd pay at the movie theater. Like, no, 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 no.
yeah, yeah. So, but
Oh
that's,
gosh.
that's
Yeah.
cool. I'll have to
But yeah.
check
And
that out.
it's you can I think it's like as low as $6 a month. Like they let you, it's interesting when you log in, it's like how much do you want to pay? I think six is the lowest. It recommends 10, but you can like
Mhm.
adjust how much you pay them per month, which I'm
Oh,
like, oh,
nice.
that's an interesting and it doesn't like affect the benefits. You can obviously upgrade to like premium and whatnot. But yeah, no, it's a
Do they
cool.
become another lost subscription you have? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I know when we first got it, Randall's like, I don't want to have to do this if we pay for it. And I was like, no, but like it's worth it. And he kind of said the same thing. He's like, isn't it to get rid of? I'm like, no, 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 trust me. And then once we got into it, he's like, okay, okay. Because I had it a long time ago. And then I'm like, no, this would be a
Yeah, yeah,
good thing to have. But yeah,
that's funny.
he just looked over at me. He's working. He heard his name and he's like, well,
Uh,
you have to listen to figure out what I'm saying about you.
that's right. That's funny.
Oh man.
All
All right. Well, this was
right.
fun. Again, these
Yeah,
these movies, this has been a really fun, just kind of easy. Basically, it
totally.
just feels like Amy and I are just chatting and we just happen to be
Yes.
recording. It's
And you guys are just
wonderful.
listening in and enjoying
Yeah.
our chats while we talk about all these movies that we could
That
talk
we
about for
love.
hours.
Yes. Yes. All right. Well, again, we will post about what your thoughts are on Chewbacca and maybe we'll
Chewbacca.
follow up next episode with, some good comments as well as what we think. So
Totally.
look for that and we will see you next time. Thanks for listening.
All right. Bye.